Hello, my name is Daniel and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be prepping my Traxxas Slash and my Traxxas Slash Ruslter for the track. We are going to be starting with the Traxxas Slash. Let's change up the camera angle and get to work. Alright, let's get started on the Slash. A couple things I need to do to this guy. First things first, I need to get the tires off because I need to clean them. With these tires, a lot of people will notice that these are actually smooth tires. They're completely slick for the track. The track I go to is Rain Man's Hobby in Bakersfield, and it is a indoor clay track. Very, very nice track. The owner takes good care of it. Very nice clay. As long as with the tires cleaning, we need to adjust our rear shocks. The rear shocks from factory are too long. These are the Traxxas GTR shocks. I really like them. I've had really good success with them. They're just a hair too long. As long with the shocks, I need to add a Dean's connector. So we're going to be soldering a Dean's connector. We're going to be shortening the length of the shocks, and then we're going to be cleaning the tires. So I got that off. Let's get the shocks off, and I need, no, not that one, this one. I need this guy. So let's get the shocks off, and then we have to drain the shocks because there is oil in the shocks because they're fluid filled, and then we'll add some spacers to the shocks. All right, now we got the shocks off the car. We need to get the shocks disassembled. Shock disassembly is very easy. On these guys, there is just a little set screw to hold the bottom hat, I believe it's called, in. So let's get those off. So we get the bolt out. We can easily slide the bottom hat off. There we go. And then the rear, the spring. There we go. We'll take that out too. Maybe? No. Okay. So now what we need to do is get our handy dandy paper towels. And then what we're doing with the paper towels is we're just going to use them as a mat for the shock fluid. Because there is shock fluid in there. Like that. Yummy. Easy peasy. Just like that. Yummy. Let that sit and drain. While that is draining, we're gonna work on the second one. Get it up to the same stage. Just like that. Maybe. I don't know. Wants to be difficult. There we go. Just like that. Get that bottom hat. Boom. Kaboom. There we go. And then get this draining. There's no fluid. Oh crap. Oh, there it is. Okay. That was weird. I think so it looks like got those draining. Little guy came out. Put that back in. Boom. Grab this guy. Go. Nice. Let's go back to the first one. Drain a little bit. Give it a couple more. And then we'll clean this up. And then now we need to get the shock end off of the rod. How we're gonna do that, is pliers. What I like to do, fold up the paper towel a couple times, wrap it around the shaft. And I don't think these pliers are gonna work. Pinche pliers. Let me go grab a better set of pliers and we'll be right back. Kaboom! Look at that. New pliers. Should work. So you use the paper towel to grip onto the rod. You don't want to damage the rod. And then you just turn the eyelet. Just like so. And boom. Eyelet is off. So now what you can do, give it a good clean. Give it a good clean. And then what you can do is you push it through, up and out. Kaboom. Just like that. And then now we need to add our spacers. Let's get those spacers. Okay, so we got our spacers here. These are just basic plastic spacers, nothing special. Got them in a pack at my shop, my local RC shop. So what we need to do is we put them simply. I guess it's not that simple. I guess we don't have the right spacers for. Oh, that sucks. Bigger. Dang it. It looks like we're gonna get a little custom with the spacers. I'm gonna go grab our next tool and I'll be right back. Okay, dokay. Got our next tool, getting a little custom. Shouldn't be an issue. Let's see what we got. So, if those guys are probably this, come on, you know? All right, I'll go this one. So that's too small, too small. There, this, the right. All right, we'll try that one, see how it goes. Do that. Ah, too small. Looks like we're gonna go up. This is what it takes. Sometimes you gotta get custom. And I mean custom with a capital K. So let's try that. Oh yeah. I think that's money. Money, money, money. Oh. Yeah. There it goes. It's like a twiga. Do we go up or one more? What size is that? Really good question. 9/64. What's the next size? 5/32. Let's try 5/32. Never know. $1 million question is if I can even get this off of here now. Shoot. Try to get this off. Good thing I got nails. If I don't break them, it moved. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Try this last. This should be the last size, and then we'll be smooth sailing. There we go. That should be fine. Should be perfect. Perfect, like me. So now we just need to get the others up to the same stage. And so we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We got all of these bushings drilled out and ready to go. I already have the two I need on the shaft. Just clean it up a little bit. In the shock housing, I found these two black ones, we're just gonna throw those back on there. So that's gonna be the total of bushings. Then we can put that back into the body, and there we go. Got it on there. And then now what we need to do is we need to grab our shock oil and start filling up the shock. I have my handy dandy shock holder right there ready to go. And so how you fill up the shocks, super easy. Put in your shock oil until it's just below flush of the top of the shock. Bam. Just now, so what we do is we have to move the shock up and down, and what the moving the shock up and down does is get all of that air out and all of the oil into the shock. Because of all of the spacers, it took quite a bit, so we'll fill it back up and do it again. So it takes a while for there's little bubbles in there. It's hard to see on camera. So what you do to let all the bubbles come up, just put it in your holder, and now we can move on to the second one. I'm just gonna do all of this. It's very boring, not super fun. And then I will bring you guys back when both of the shocks are ready to go back onto the car. All right, we're back. We got our setup for our tire cleaning. Very simple. Couple microfiber cloths. What this guy is just a Tupperware container filled with water. It has a special brush in there. And what we do is we actually add a little bit of Simple Green. It just helps clean the tire. Throw that in there. Bam. Easy peasy. I got my soldering iron, I believe, warming up. The light's not on, but I trust it. Let's give this a little shake, help it mix in. And then what we do, just grab the tire and start scrubbing. Super easy, simple. And we're just trying to get that dirt off of the tire to get back to a basic clean tire. I'm gonna throw that on there. So I like to do the sidewalls first, then I do the main tread of the tire. Like that. After I'm done, just give it a nice dry with the second microfiber cloth. Easy, easy, easy. And that is one tire cleaned. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the remaining 3, and we'll get back with you guys. All right, we got our tires clean. The last couple steps are super easy. What this is this is just a scrub bottle, and it actually is filled with PB Blaster. For whatever reason, the PB Blaster with the tire compound helps with the stickiness. And then for transportation, because we don't want the tires getting dirty again, I like to throw them in each individual sandwich bags. So just take the tire, give it a couple dabs, make it nice and wet, go around the tire completely, and bam. So I don't know exactly what the blaster does to the tire. I know it makes it stickier. All the guys do it at the track, and that's what I was shown. It helps, and so we'll do it. All right, let me finish up the remaining 3 tires, and we'll go from there. And bam, just like that, tires are done and clean. What I like to do at the end, just clean the scrubber off, get it reset back to 0, and we are done cleaning tires. Let me get this all out of the way. Boom, boom, boom. Without making a freaking mess. There we go. Okay. So now, the final thing we need to do is solder our connectors. So I have got me a pack of these ProTech Dean's connectors. And let's get some soldering going. I have the soldering iron, I think. Oh, now it wants to turn on. Now it's on. Let's see if it's hot. We just got some 60-40 wire. And get that started. Bam. EZ. PZ. Test if the hot iron's hot. It is not yet. Okay. I don't know. Okay. It's not hot just yet, so that's fine. We need to do prep on our wires anyways, and on our connector. Because what we need to do is we need to put a little bit of solder on the connector ends and a little bit of solder on these ends. So let's get those crimp or cut without ruining the wire. Do a little bit of that. Bam. Easy. Peasy. And then easy. Peasy. Okay. And then that's done. So then let's see if our iron's hot. Not just yet. I don't think it was on because I moved it and then it magically turned on. So what we also need is this guy right here, because what we'll do is we'll just have it hold the Dean's connector for when we solder or get solder on the Dean's connector. And then I also need to make sure, so to grab a battery, look at that. Just grab a battery, make sure we solder the right ends onto the connector. Is this done yet? There it is. Okay. So our soldering iron is hot. Full disclaimer, this is the first time I have ever done this, but I watched YouTube videos last night, so therefore I'm a professional, right? That's hot. Yes, that is hot. Okay. So, I mean, I'm happy with that. So then, whoa. Let's get this one, this top one, soldered. So what we do is put a little bit on that. Oop. And then put it right there. Dang, look at that. I am professional. So now our connector is ready to go. Push that aside. We'll get our wires pre-soldered. Pretty easy. Put a little bit of solder on there. Just like that. And then do the other side. Traditionally, you're supposed to have a sponge, but I jumped ahead. Okay. So now what we need to do, I think I'm just going to take this off because it's just annoying. So we'll take this off. It's in the way. Whoa. All right, we got our Dean's connector fully soldered in. We have our rear shocks spaced out, and we have all of our tires clean. So that means we are done with this Slash. When we get to the track, we do need to set our rear droop. That's pretty much it for this guy. So now we can move on to the Traxxas Ruslter. So with the Traxxas Ruslter, what we need to do is we need to get the shocks switched out because I got the same shocks for this guy. Those are the fronts. I had the rears already. Then we need to get wheels and tires. So we have the associated white basic tire wheels, and then we have the what I got was the Proline Bald Eagles. So we got 4 of those. I already opened them up and test fitted them on these wheels. And then also when you get the wheels from factory, they still have the wax on them from the molding. And then so to clean off that wax is super easy. You just take your Simple Green with a paper towel, clean it off, and you're good to go. So what we're gonna start with on this guy is we're gonna be gluing, we are being, so now we're going to be gluing the wheels onto the tires. Pretty easy to do. The hardest part is getting the wheels onto the tires. A little tight, which is good. We want them nice and tight. Just like that. So that's one mounted. I'm going to mount up the rest, and then we'll get to gluing. Okie dokie. So now we got our tires mounted. Now we need to get them glued. I like to use the Proline glue and then a couple of bands. So we'll get the bands out. Turn that off because we don't need it for a little bit. And then get a couple pieces of paper towel. Put them down so we don't glue the tires to the table. So just like the soldering, I am not done it a whole lot, but I've watched YouTube videos, so then therefore technically that does make me a professional. I have only glued one other set of tires. Those tires, they turned out okay. I mean, they've been holding together, so that means I did something right. So we want to make sure it's all in the grooves. Tires are in the grooves. And then, not good. So we'll go around, put the bands on, make sure the tires are sat where they need to be. Look at that, bam, and bam. Tires are mounted and glued. Not a super exciting process, but it just humbles me of how much I really suck at gluing tires. So then also, because I showed you the shocks earlier, kabam! Shocks are done and ready to go. So what we need to do is basically rip everything off of this car. So let's get that. And my special, look at that, high-tech car stand, bam. And then what we need to do is get everything ripped off, but this is gonna be a little bit interesting because this is an older RUSTLER, and older models, Traxxas models, have Phillips. So where did my driver go? There it is. Let's get some of these Phillips taken off. All right, we're back, and now we just have to mount up our motor, ESC, and last but not least, the receiver. Let's start with the motor first. Just basic Hobby Wing, just stock 13.5 motor in the box, just the motor, and then a user manual and the sensor wired because it's a sensored motor. And then let's get this mounted. First, let's get it mounted into the vehicle. We'll get the ESC out, kind of see where the ESC sits. All right, just got the motor in the vehicle. Now for the ESC, let's get the ESC unboxed. We have fancy dancy ESC with the wires. Look at that, half of it's already done. Sweet. And then we have some adhesive tape. Look at that, shrink wrap. A couple handy dandy zip ties and a user. Oh my gosh, some stickers, different colors. Wow, I'm sponsored now. So for the ESC, I don't know what I want to do just yet. What I'm going to do, I'm going to figure this out, kind of figure out the way I want to run my wires, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, took me a minute, but I figured it out. I think what we're going to do is run it like this, 2 power wires, and then everything's going to come through this back shock tower. And so now first thing I think we should do, I think we should get that taped down. So let's do that really quick. All right, got the ESC mounted, and due to some technical difficulties, I ended up not getting the footage, but I did wire in the motor. It's not beautiful. It's going to work though, hopefully. The next thing we got to do is wire in the Dean's connector, kapow. With that is going to be just like on the Slash, and I am going to save you guys the pain and suffering of trying to even watch me do that. So we'll skip right to when it is done and the first power up. All right, so we got the Dean's connector soldered and shrink wrapped. Last but not least, we have the receiver. So I'm just going over this on and off switch. I believe I'm gonna put right about there, and then with the receiver, I think something right about there, so I can get these wires nicely tucked in, something like that, probably a little bit longer. And let's see. Okay, so there's my steering servo lead. So if I put it, can I put it like that? I could, but this is like a mile long. Yeah, so something like that. And let me get this stapled down. Let me get this cable routed, and we'll pretty much be ready for the first power on. All right, here we go. All right. So I was doing everything right. Everything is correct. All I needed to do was link my transmitter to the controller. I have reverse and I have steering. So then in the instructions it says to set my throttle. So let's do it together. Set throttle range. You must calibrate the throttle range to use a new ESC. Throttle TRM has been adjusted. ESC. Activate the failsafe function. Transmitter. Blah blah blah. To off. Or to say it's neutral position. The motor can be stopped. So turn on transmitter. That. Okay, so then turn off ESC, hold set button, turn on ESC, red LED on ESC starts to flash, motor beeps at the same time, release the set button, set a neutral point, throttle endpoint, the throttle endpoint, full brake endpoint. In new position, press the set button, green dies out, flashes once, motor beeps one time, neutral position, okay. So, let's turn that off. So if I hold the set button, turn it on, and then it'll beep at me, and then leave the throttle position, dies out, flashes once, motor beeps once. Okay, so then but I don't have reverse. Oh, we didn't have reverse. Oh, sorry. We didn't have forward, but now we have reverse. Oh my god. So much fun. Let's figure this out. Alright guys, did a little bit of digging, found out I only have forward right now. For me to get reverse, I need to get the Hobbywing transcoder box to talk to the ESC. Not that big of an issue, works perfectly fine so far. What I'm going to do for you guys to end out the video is I'm going to take a couple B-roll shots of this guy and a couple B-roll shots of the Slash. If you guys made it to this point of the video, thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. My next video is actually going to the track. I don't know if it's going to be a practice day, or it's going to be a race day. That's up in the air. But if you made it to this point, thank you guys. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you on the next one. I'm so sorry. Oh.